Welcome. In this playthrough of Aeons in Outcast, we take on Battle 3 of our expedition, going up against the Risen Thrall. So before we get into the introduction, I think I made a mistake on how Zaxos is interpreted. Thought this ability is a bit too overpowered. It says effects that are triggered when a player resolves their ability are also triggered when Zaxos resolves his ability. I thought that meant we would do our ability, but then I did a little bit more research, and there are some cards that have effects that do additional things when they trigger our abilities. So I think our other game would have been a bit closer without all the extra healing from using this. But I don't want to go back and play it. I just want to keep on moving. Just bring that out there. Just wasn't very well explained on this. So into our new battle. We're strolling along in the void with Zaxos leading the way. And we see a new guy up on the hill and a whole bunch of small skeletons appearing from out of nowhere, ready to start a fight. So we are going to go into this battle. So our new nemesis. We're going to shuffle the Thrall cards with the Shambling Infantry and Soldier of Rot sides face up to form the Thrall deck. Then we're going to place the Thrall Reminder card into play. So we're getting a stack of Shambling Infantry and Soldier of Rot. And we're going to shuffle these face up because on the back is some secret information that will be important. Basically, we noticed some of these are going to be an illusion. So some of these we might fight and waste our damage for no reason, and some really need to be beat up. Then our reminder card. At the start of the Nemesis turn, if there are 1, 2, 3, or 4 plus soldiers of Rot in play, Gravehold will suffer 1, 2, or 4 damage. And at the start of the Nemesis turn, if there are 1, 2, 3, or 4 plus Shambling Infantry in play, any player suffers 1, 2, or 4 damage. And then on this side, we've got 50 health. Unleash ability is place a Thrall into play. Additional rolls. During any player's main phase, that player may spend 2 ether to flip over a Thrall in play. If it is an illusion, discard it. When a Thrall deck is empty or you need to draw one, shuffle the discard pile with the Shambling Infantry and Soldier of Rot sides face up to form the Thrall deck. When a face-up Thrall is discarded, do not flip it over. At the start of the Nemesis turn, if there are, we're going into the damage from our Thrall Reminder. And then if there are 12 Thralls in play and the Nemesis unleashes, Gravehold suffers 4 damage. So finishing our setup, we have 30 health for Zaxos. We'll take his spell cards and give them a final shuffle. Then one more shuffle for our minions here. And we had a level 2 treasure. Start of the game, set this next to a supply pile that costs 5 or less. Those spells deal 1 additional damage when cast. I'm going to put that on the Twisted Fang. Then for our Nemesis stack, got level 1s, level 2s, and 3s. Those are his basic 9 cards. Then we're going to get a basic or upgraded basic 1. We're going to get 3 upgraded basic 2s. So this one will not make the cut. Then we've got 5 upgraded 3s. So we will need 2 basics to shuffle into that. Then we need to shuffle these. Put this on the bottom. Then our tier 2s. And tier 1s. And our turn order deck. And I believe with that, we are ready to get going here, starting with the Nemesis. Well, yes, no Thralls come in at the start. Just want to make sure none came in the game before I got this started here. All right, so we're just drawing a card. We're going to unleash with a Chaos Strike, put a Thrall into play. So during any player's main phase, we may spend 2 money to flip this over and check if it's an illusion. Gravehold takes 4 damage, so Zaxos gets hit, down to 26. And any player gains a curse shard from the curse deck and places it on top of their deck. I've got those off the board here. So the curse shard, gain a money, then put it back on top, or spend 2 to destroy it. Next turn will be us, so this is our starting hand. Got a spell to prep, dealing 1 damage and focusing our level 3 breach. Then we've got 4 money and we can suffer damage, which I'll do. Go ahead and focus our closed breach with the lowest focus cost. Then with our 4 money, we're going to get a spell that will deal 1 additional damage because of that when cast. Discard down. Drawing, oops, forgot we got another card. Drawing these 5. Our turn. So dealing a damage. Down to 3. We can focus a level 3 breach. We're going to spend 2 money to get rid of that shard. Then prep 1 spell. That will end our turn. Stuck with this in hand, so we're getting 4 cards. And our turn again. 1 damage. I'm going to bank 3 money and take a damage here. And go gain a charge, which we will put on ourself. Use the 3 money to open this up. And prep 2 spells. Drawing 5. Our turn. 4 damage. Put that on the big guy down to 46. 1 damage. Prep a spell. 4 money. Galvanized Sapphire. End her turn. And the Nemesis. So we have 1 Soldier of Rot, which means Gravehold suffers 1 damage, down to 25. And he doesn't do anything on his own. Then place a Thrall into play and give it an additional 2 life. And next round. So 46, 25, and we are at 8. And next turn is the Nemesis, of course. So we've got a Rot, 1 damage here. Got Infantry, 1 damage here, which is going to trigger. We're going to focus. Next card, Engulfing Hordes. When a player or Gravehold suffers damage at the beginning of the Nemesis turn, so that would be because of that, that player or Gravehold suffers 1 additional damage. It's got 2 power on it. Any player discards a card in hand and gains a curse shard. All right, next turn is us. Well, we can pop this guy off at least. And focus our breach, which will open it. Prep out some spells. We've got 3 money, and we may suffer damage. Might be the last time I do that. We will go gain a charge. And we'll pick up one of these relics to start thinning our deck down. Our turn. So we can deal 5 damage here and 1 there, so that's 6. Prep a spell. We're going to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 money and a charge for Zaxos. And with our 5 money, get another Twisted Fang. Drawing 1 and 4 more. Our turn again. 2 damage. Down to 44. Prep a spell. We are going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 money. We are going to take a damage. And move over to focus a breach. And choosing not to destroy another card. And with the 4 money, we're going to get some charges. Our turn again. 2 damage. And a 42. Prep 3 spells. Gain 3 money and a charge for Zaxos. And with that 3 money, get a charge down here and then use our ability, which will let us gain 3 health. And drawing 3 and 2 more. And the Nemesis goes. So no minions in, so that doesn't do anything. Take a token off of here. Got a Vampiric Thrall unleashed twice. Then we get to flip over a Thrall in play. All right. So is any of these an illusion? We'll go for the last one. So this is real. So not an illusion. We'll flip him back over. 4 health each. And shuffling. Our turn. So 5 damage. 4 damage. 1 damage. Prepping a spark. We've got 4 money, not destroying anything. Buying another Twisted Fang. And for our next turn, 2 damage. 39. Prepping 1 spell. We're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 money. Going to gain a charge for Zaxos and take a damage. And gain a charge for us. And we are going to focus. So 1 card and 4 more. Next turn, the Nemesis. So we take the power off this. Don't remember if that triggered or not. So just in case it did and I forgot, we'll take a damage off here and 1 more off of me. Any player discards a card in hand and gains a Cursed Shard. So we will discard that and gaining a Cursed Shard back. Our next card, any player suffers 3 damage and Gravehold suffers 3 damage. Down to 3 and down to 20. Since we took damage, we'll focus, which will open that breach. Hunting for the weak. Next turn is the Nemesis. 11 health. A Thrall hybrid. This minion counts as both a Soldier of Rot and a Shambling Infantry. This minion is real. Well, we've got 3 turns or 2 turns coming up. So 2 damage to this real minion. And I wasn't thinking right. Well, I didn't know that was going to happen. So we're going to spend this to bank of money and not buy anything. Next turn. All right. So 5 and 10 damage. And then 4 damage. Or did I do that wrong? That had 9. Yeah, I'll do this more efficiently. 5 and 4, because there's already 2 on that one, and then that for 5, down to 34. All right. We are going to gain a money. We may destroy a card in hand. I'll destroy this one to gain 0 money. So we're going to end up with 4. Buy another Fang. End our turn. Or do we want the Fang? We might want some charges here. We might need to heal. We'll put that back and gain 2 charges here. All right, next turn. Shuffling. So we've got the big Thrall down to 34, but he's got Zaxos down to 20 and us down to 3. We are going first. We'll prep our 1 little spark. We'll bank this for 2 and gain a charge for Zaxos. Then we'll bank another money up to 3 and take a damage to gain a charge. So we're going to end up with 5 money. We're going to spend 2 for a charge on us to gain 3 life, so we're up to 5. And with our remaining 3, we'll put a charge over here. And drawing 5. We are going 2 damage down to 32. Going spell crazy. Play this to gain a money, not spend. And next turn is us. So we're going 5, 10, 11, 12, down to 20. Prep a spell. Now I'm going to destroy 4 money, 2 charges. So there's 4 plus 1. Nemesis goes. No triggers here. New card. Shuffle the Thrall discard pile into the Thrall deck and then unleash twice. Not that I did any exploring. We knew 1 was real. And now we're going to unleash twice. 4 health each. Nemesis goes. So 1 damage over here, down to 19. 1 damage on us. And we're going to go up here to draw a card. And our turn. And we're just going to go 5 damage on the main guy. 15. Put out a spark. We're going to gain 2 money. Let's see. Yep. Gain 2 and gain a charge for Zaxos, which will allow his ability to trigger. So Interceding Flare We can discard a tier 1, 2, or 3 power in play. We don't have any. Or any player gains 2 spells from any supply pile. Well, that's going to be easy. So now with that empty, we're going to get an additional damage. So it's going to be 3 plus 1 for this, plus 1 for that, and potentially 1 on each of these. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Not going to hurt herself. And we're just going to put 3 charges on us. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 cards. And shuffle. Hoping this will be the last round. We are dealing 2 damage. Down to 13. Prepping spells. Bank of money and end her turn. So 3 and 2. It's our turn. So 6, 12, 13, and 14 damage. And yes, the combo of this guy and this card is going a bit well for me. So at the conclusion of our battle, the Knight of Shackles comes up to us and does not fight, just announces that he is Thraxier, which is an older Breach Mage. And so now after this fight, we were opening up Deck 3B and Envelope 3B, which will be Thraxier, to our barracks. So good old Thrax. All right, so he's got some special stuff here. So his breaches are going to be different. He's got ability. His 1 breach is a Forged Breach. When opened, gains a card that costs us 4 ether or less from any supply pile. His level 2 breach. When open, he gains a spell that costs 5 or less from any supply. 3 breach. When open, shuffle his turn order card into the turn order deck. And his 4th breach, when opened, he gains a spell from any supply pile. His ability, cast up to 3 spells prepped by any players. If you have 3 opened breaches, those spells deal 1 additional damage. If you have 4 open breaches, you may cast up to 4 spells, and those spells deal 2 additional damage. But none of his breaches are going to come in open. So popping these out. So when you open this, you're gaining a card. So just like it said on the back. And his 3 and 4. It's not going to be +1. So we'll see what his cards are going to be here. First, we'll look at our possible upgrades to our supply. So we've got a gem, costs a 3, Helix of Amber, gain 2. You may suffer 1 damage. If you do, destroy a card in hand that costs 0 in your hand. I'm going to have to say I like that one. Then we have a 3-cost Relic. Zaxos gains a charge. You may destroy a card in hand. That's a keeper also. Then a 7-cost Relic. The Unhinged Vortex. Any ally draws 3 cards, then they discard a card in hand. Or you may focus any ally's breach. Any ally may return a card, then discard a pile to their hand. Then Radiant Conflux. 5-cost spell, deal 3 damage. Any ally may draw a card and then discard a card in hand. And then we've got our starter cards. So the Nameless Siphon. Gain a money, or any ally may discard in hand. If they do, focus one of your breaches. All right. So that's going to help him out a lot. Then we have our level 3 treasures and 2 more spells for Zaxos. So for our treasures, armored pauldrons. When you play a relic that costs 3 or more, deal a damage. So it depends on what we're going to do with the relics here. A rebound gauntlet. Once per turn, when you cast a spell that costs 5 or less, you may discard a spell in hand to return the cast spell to your hand. Kind of like that. World Marble. Start of your first turn of the game, focus one of your breaches 3 times. That seems good. Treasured Stone. At start of your first turn of the game, gain a gem from any supply pile. And Bloodshot Geode. When you play a gem that costs 5 or more, deal 2 damage. So out of those, focusing one of our breaches 3 times, because our breach, level 4, comes in this way, so 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, we'll be taking this. And for our 2 new abilities for Zaxos, Fortifying Blaze, he discards a tier 1, 2, or 3 minion in play, or any player gains 2 relics from any supply pile and places those cards on top of their deck. And a Flickering Spirit, deal 10 damage divided however you choose among any number of minions, or deal 15 damage to the nemesis. All right, for these, this gem costs a 3, definitely replacing. This relic cost of 3, definitely replacing. Our 7 cost relic, drawing 3 cards. I mean, I never did use it, so I might as well replace it. And then this 5 cost spell. Sure. Like I was going to get to 8 anyway. So that concludes battle 3. Next time we go on to 4. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. If so, please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.